Hey everybody, welcome to the Tuman Show. Different angle, still nothing behind me, so you can't really see what's in front of me just because I was trying to get me in here. So, no car, no engine. What am I gonna do? You got a wrench, right? You gotta do something. Well, the good news is I have a wiring harness. If you recall a couple videos back, I was basically kind of laying out all the engine parts that I had, and I had already started labeling the engine harness for the Twin Spark, and my plan is to use the OEM harness so that I don't have to rewire it from scratch. Smart move. However, I didn't take it off the engine, and I don't have an engine here, so I don't know where everything goes. So, thanks to the internet, I've got some wiring diagrams, and thanks to my brain and some experience from messing with Bosch injected cars, I was able to identify a decent amount of them. So I'll start with this end because this one's really easy. If you don't know where this plugs into, just stop. Just give your car to somebody else, let them deal with it. This connects to that OEM ECU. So then you've got a couple pieces right off of it. Haven't quite figured these out yet though. I've heard some rumblings that there's different connectors or maybe relays that go in here that are for the different market cars, because in Italy and in Europe they use different fuel than what they use in America. And so I guess there is I think it's this one, but I guess there's a connector, there's different connectors that go onto these that kind of tell the ECU go balls out, it's high octane, or dial it back because it's crappy California gas. Still working on that part. And then you kind of work your way down. This is going to be really hard to do on this little desk, but I'm going to try my best. So you go from there. Which way is this going to go? Let's wrap this around this way. And we'll drop it down. Firewall grommet's pretty good. That's a nice thing. I'm going to have to cut a hole in my firewall because I want the ECU inside the car. Nice and safe. And then, oh boy. Alright, so here's one end. This whole piece comes to just these. These are some relays. Probably should swap them out, but the bracket doesn't look bad. The wiring doesn't look bad, so I'll just get some new relays and call it a day. Keep these as spares just in case they might still be good. Then you've got two little red, not little, there's probably, I don't know, 12 gauge wires, red wires, which means they're positive. Little eyelets should go to the coils, especially Twin Spark, two coils right next to each other. So need to confirm that. Luckily, one of these has like an orange wire next to it, so I gotta confirm that. And then what's this go to? 3-pin, can pull the wiring back and we'll see what that goes to. But that will cover all of that. And then comes the rest of the harness, which goes to the engine. So we'll start our way back. Guessing this is a sensor of some sort that it's connected to. Could be oil temp, oil pressure. It's pretty deep. Looks like it's connected to something. Maybe it goes in the oil pan. Is that the end of it? Okay. This one I was able to label AFM, so we know where that's going. Then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 spark plugs, or no, excuse me, fuel injectors. Then you've got this one, which is idle control valve. These two thick black ones, also kind of eyelet-ish. I have a question mark next to them, but I think they're grounds, because usually there'll be a ground right on the valve cover, or possibly the block. Throttle body. Coolant temp sensor. Why do I think that? Light blue. It's kind of a telltale sign of a coolant temp sensor or coolant related items. So not too bad, right? That's the bulk of the harness. Then you get to this side, which I zip tied it because these are super long, and there's two identical plugs. Twin spark. Where do those go? Perhaps the coils. Another thing to confirm, but I think I already have a confirmation on that. And then finally, you've got these two weird looking connectors, 3-pin also, but actually this one's 2-pin, this one's 3-pin. But I've got a black and green wire, and it looks like a pink wire, brown, gray, green, and yellow. So plenty of stuff for me to go off of to reference the harness. So no need for you to sit here and watch me. All right, after a little bit of work and the magic of editing and almost 2 months, we pick up where we left off, sort of. I was basically trying to label the wiring harness, which I was having some success with, but if you're a creeper and you're paying attention to what's going on in the background, you'll notice a stroller. You also see a box that wasn't there before. Guess what that is? That's right. They are here. Sing with me. They are here. So what are we gonna do now? Instead of labeling the engine harness, I can just put it on the engine. Should be a little bit easier to figure out what goes where. Especially since I may sell that engine with the harness. Make my life easy. Wasting a bunch of time. But we gotta get the ball moving though, because it's here. It's still not here, but this might be filled up soon, which means that needs to go away. So with that, let's get to it. All right, well, I hope that time lapse worked. The engine doesn't look too bad. Ready for a new buyer. Actually, the other cool thing is that because I have two intake manifolds, I've heard there's some gains to be had by porting the stock one to port match and clean it up. I guess you can cut it out up here at the top, this part of the manifold, and open it up inside and then just weld the top piece back on. So you'd have a spare one that you can do that with. Yeah, pretty exciting, you know. If I do end up selling it with the harness, which at this point kind of seems the best way, because it's like I get rid of all of this stuff. I was hoping to have the engine, the block on that engine stand, but not quite yet. I'm really hoping that the next one next to, we kind of get over this, like, we've been climbing this hill to collect the parts and to prepare, and and then we can, boom, start picking up some speed, because once I get it on the engine stand, I'm going to tear the bottom end apart. I'm going to order the bottom end rebuild kit. I should be, in the next 2 or 3 weeks, fingers crossed, I should have some progress on the car and getting the car back. Hopefully, next episode, this is gone. This space is filled with not a stroller, and with an engine, or with the car. And engine will be on engine stand. I don't know. Stay tuned. We'll see what happens. Who knows? I don't know. You don't know. Let's find out together on the next episode of The Tuman Show. Woo!